welcome everybody. Can you all hear me? Welcome everybody. So when I was a camper here, I have very vivid memories that the camp director then, Arthur Pinchev, would say to us that we should take mental snapshots of the things that we saw. And I'm going to ask all of you today to put away your cell phone, turn it off, don't take a picture with your cell phone at the request of both the bride and the groom, and take a mental snapshot so you can enjoy the moment and not look at it through a screen, but actually look at them and see the amount of excitement and love that they both share. So I'm going to ask everybody to put it away as they come in, and also you can remain seated the whole time while they're here. So don't worry about standing up. They want everybody to be able to see. So please remain seated as everybody comes in.
two? That was two. Okay. I say
You guys weren't so smooth. B'Shem Adonai Beirachnuchem Mi Beit Adonai Mi Adir Al HaKol Mi Baruch Al HaKol Mi Gadol Al HaKol Mi Dagul Al HaKol Hu Yevarech Et Echatan Et Echatan V'et HaKala.
Baruch haba b'Shem Adonai. Welcome in the name of God. I'm looking at the two of you, and I turned over to Kenny a second ago, and I said, Rebecca's smile is like, it's unbelievable. And she's smiling like an 8-year-old. And Kenny turns to me, and he says, he's the little sister that we all have. And that's really what this is for me. And being able to officiate here is to be part of your family, has seen you, Rebecca, since, like I said earlier, as a Sabra many years. Aloni, seeing you and getting to know you as a Cal student and seeing you through the years as a camper here. It's incredibly special for me to be here. And I think about this place, and I also commented to Kenny, we had a lot of time up here to talk. I commented to Kenny, and I said, Kenny, what a beautiful place. In this one spot of the Havdalah garden. And I don't know if you picked this space intentionally because of what it represents, but as campers, you came here and we celebrated Havdalah, which was the exit of Shabbat, moving into Chol. And we would say Kiddush, and we'd come here in the setting and our arms wrapped around one another. And here you are, coming here to also do a sense of Kodesh, a sense of holiness, a separation. But the separation that you're about to do right here is not a separation of Shabbat and Chol. It's a separation of individuals to now being a unity of one. And that's what you're here today. Before we go any further, I want you to pause for a minute and look around the whole circle of people here. Look at everybody. Look at everybody. Family, friends, colleagues. Go look over there. Remember all the people here, because you're right now standing under your first home. These are the people that are going to support you in your today fragile chuppah and one day in your more solid home. But these are all the people that are going to surround you. And as before we begin, I also asked you to, who are the people that you want to remember that aren't with us today, and they can't sit here with us, but are people that you want to remember. So I want to call Shmuel Zev and Esther in their memory, and David and Miriam, and Rebecca. I want to call Jim and B and Ludwig and Ada, who unfortunately are not here with us, but are still going to be part of your family moving forward. The ceremony is quick, right? We get to have a little bit of wine, we get to celebrate, say a few brachot. And just like Havdalah, when we come in here and you stand in a circle, we say Havdalah, we sanctify the separation of the two periods of time from Shabbat to Chol. We're going to separate this time with our first blessing to do our Kiddushin. We're going to then move into a ring ceremony, and then finally Kenny's going to beautifully say the Sheva Brachot, and then I get to say a few words because I've gotten a chance to know you guys in such a beautiful way. So we're going to start with the bracha for your betrothal. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitchanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al harayot v'asar lanu et harosot v'hitir lanu et hanesuot lanu al yedei chuppah v'kiddushin. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh Amo Yisrael al yedei chuppah v'kiddushin. Go take a sip. That's why it's white wine, so you don't spill it out of red. You can spill it out of red, it's fine. So we've sanctified the moment. We've sanctified this moment of the two of you coming together. And now you're going to move into the ring ceremony. And the ring ceremony, there you go. The Zohar says that at this moment is a time when new worlds are created. And this idea of a ring, which is an unbroken band that you're going to give to one another, you are in the process of creating a new world. And every wedding and chuppah that we stand under is an opportunity to create a world. But it's a world like none other. It's a world that the two of you get to create. So as you're reciting your commitment to one another with this ring band, which is a tradition that's been passed down for thousands of generations of what you're going to say, think about the world and the family that the two of you will be able to create. All right, you ready, Aloni? You're going to go first. I got the one. All right, hot. Yeah, nice and loud. All right, hot. Yeah, and put it on a ring.
הרי את מקודשת לי בטבעת זו כדת משה וישראל.
All right, Rebecca. I didn't brief it with you, but you're good. Right, there you go.
הרי אתה מקודש לי בטבעת זו כדת משה וישראל.
Go. Leave it on there, you got it. Leave it on. You're good.
Okay.
So we finished the Kiddushin part. And now to separate this from the next part of the Sheva Brachot, your mother made this beautiful ketubah, a piece of art. But the text is one that you both put together. So I'm going to read a little bit of this text that you wrote together. B'siman tov u'mazal tov, berishon b'shabbat, kavchet lechodesh iyar, anu aidim chatumim matem eidim, shechatan alon Yonatan ben Leah u'Moshe hakohen, amar lekala Rivka, Balea bat Devora v'Dov halevi, harei at mekudeshet li kedat Moshe v'Yisrael, v'nichnesu b'vrit hanesuin, le'okir u'lichvod zeh o zeh. Surrounded by our friends and family in Brandeis, California on May 13th, 2018, we, Alon Jonathan Cohen, Rebecca Bella Powell, enter into this covenant of marriage as husband and wife. Under the chuppah, we pledge to each other, you are my partner according to the tradition of Moses and Israel. May we rejoice together in times of happiness, respond with patience in times of difficulty, and always treat each other with compassion. Even as our interdependence deepens, we will encourage each other's independence and personal growth, nurturing and challenging each other to seek fulfillment and success in our endeavors. We will honor each other's cherished family traditions and values as we build our home together, a home filled with learning and joy. If we are blessed with children, we pledge to love and support them as we teach them according to their own way. We will strive to be slow to anger and quick to forgive, to pursue a path of courageous communication and genuine compromise. When we encounter difficulty, we pledge to deeply open to each other and to the guidance of our family, community, and trusted professionals. With this pledge, we promise to love and cherish one another always. Take a deep breath. Now Kenny is going to recite the Sheva Brachot, the 7 blessings, and there's 7 throughout. 7 in Jewish tradition is about completeness and wholeness. You circled each other in a combination of 7, and I mentioned to you, for a bunch of Israeli dance fanatics, you weren't nearly as graceful as I thought it would look. But you managed, I guess. Confusing. It's just one step. There's no Mayim, there's no Debka, it was just a walk. But there's 7 throughout. You have 7 circles, 7 days of the week, and we finish with Sheva Brachot, which is also a symbol of completeness and wholeness. And what you guys talked about when I asked you questions, the answers to your questions was all about the completeness that each of you bring to one another. So Kenny will recite the Sheva Brachot for both of you. Ready?
Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol bara lichvodo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Yotzer Hadam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher yatzar et ha'adam b'tzalmo b'tselem demut tavnito v'hitkin lo mimenu binyan adei ad Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer Ha'adam. Sos tasis v'tagel ha'akara b'kibutz banea b'tocha b'simcha Baruch atah Adonai misameach Tzion b'vanea. Sameach tisamach Reim ha'ahuvim kisamechacha yitzirecha began Eden mikedem Baruch atah Adonai Misameach hatan
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher bara sason v'simcha chatan v'kala Asher bara sason v'simcha chatan v'kala Hila rina ditza v'cherva Hava ve'achva ve'shalom ve'reut meheira Adonai Eloheinu Yishama Biorei Yehuda Uvechutzot Yerushalayim Kol sason v'kol simcha Kol chatan v'kol kala Kol sason v'kol simcha Kol chatan v'kol kala Kol mitzalot chatanim mechupatam uniorim mimishte neginatam Baruch atah Adonai misameach chatan himakala.
Take a little bit more. You're married. Today's the 43rd day of the Omer. I'm sure you've been counting the whole time, so I don't need to remind you that. But it's the last week. It's right before Shavuot is going to start at the end of the week. And the mystics equate each days. It's this. You'd love this, Aloni. Actually, it's a bunch of math, frankly. The Omer, and it's a different part of the Sphira and Kabbalah relates to a different day, and they have different qualities. I'm sure there's an algorithm that you could write to make it easier for me to count. But today is a special day because it's what's called Chesed b'Malchut, and what that is that Malchut is the part of God's emanation that's closest to us. And throughout the Omer, it's coming closer to us. And Chesed, as I'm sure you both know, is about loving kindness. And when I think about a day that a wedding should take place, when God's emanation is as closest to us on that day, along with loving kindness, you can't have a better day in the Omer to have a wedding. And I think about going back to the two of you, I asked a bunch of questions to you and you answered back. And you answered back according to exactly your area of study. Aloni doesn't even remember. Aloni, you wrote me this theorem about... Aloni was matter of fact of telling the stories, and he told me the story in excellent detail about what it was, what he saw, what was going on. And Rebecca, you told it like an educator, right? You painted the picture so I can feel like I was in it. And I asked you, what was really fascinating, I asked you, what was your first memory coming together? And Aloni, you changed the question, right? And you said, well, my first memory of us really thinking of each other more than friends, and you said it was a time that you walked around Cal when Rebecca first came to campus, and you were deliberate to say that you walked through the Chancellor's house, I imagine the grounds of the Chancellor's house, and then afterwards, very matter-of-factly. You didn't show any emotion of this. Rebecca texted you that night and said, "So are we just friends?" Unanticipated, right, of what to do. And Rebecca, I don't know if you remember what you wrote to me about your first memory or encounter of sort of beginning to fall in love, even though you probably didn't remember it at that time, it was winter camp, you said, of 2004. And you were out a long time ago. You were out, he was teaching you a dance. And it was a dance that you said, it was a dance that he learned outside of camp. And what I, 2009.
2009.
2004, 9. But what was so special about what you said about that moment, about the dance, he was so excited to teach you the dance. But you, even though you loved Israeli dance, you were excited that he was teaching you and you were with him. And I think about what drew you and what that talks about is you were just excited to be in his company in the beginning of that. And I saw that at Cal all the time, right? Oftentimes as a staff, there was a joke of someone would say, "Yeah, Aloni and Rebecca are dating." I'm like, "Oh, they're dating? I thought they weren't dating. They're back on, they're off, they're back." And sometimes it was hard to keep track about where they were. But I did ask when you decided that you wanted to spend your life together and how you made that decision. And Aloni, you talked about when Rebecca went away to Spain. She went abroad, and you felt when she was away. You changed the question again, I know. You're going to be a great professor. When she was away, you felt like something was missing. And it was when she got back that you realized how important she was in your life, that you weren't complete, you were missing something. And I asked you also what inspires you of one another. And what was so moving to hear what you wrote about the other person was stuff that I've seen in each one of you. Rebecca, you said to Aloni, he knows so much about so many things, and he's so compassionate and thoughtful of how he engages in conversations with people without taking a leadership position. And I saw that over and over, Aloni, the conversations we had about difficult topics, sometimes going for coffee, you asked probing questions, you would push hard, not in a leadership way, not in trying to make transformational change, but probing really deep questions and not being satisfied with stale or parve answers. And Rebecca, what Aloni said to you is that you took new risks. And I think about that as you pushed yourself so much. You moved out of your comfort zone. I remember when you first graduated and then you went to New York and you're like, I'm going to try something new. And what's beautiful is that you saw that in one another, and I got to see that throughout your 4 years at Cal. And I feel blessed to be able to do that and see that in you. And I only hope that you guys will both continue to do that. And lastly, that I think what I was so drawn, one of the quotes that you said, Rebecca, is what you love so much about Aloni. You never thought you'd write all this and I get to share this. Aloni, you're going to love this, is that Aloni is camp cool. And when I thought about Aloni at Cal and what he did, that's exactly who he was, right? Cal cool too. But you guys both saw the wonderfulness and the uniqueness in each other. And you saw it at Cal, and you were drawn to one another, and you drew other people to you. It's amazing to see how many people are still in your lives from those times at camp and those times at Cal that are still fabrics of your community that have such deep love for what you guys have brought in. And that's a testament not just to the relationship that you have with them, but the relationship that together you've helped them come together. So I'm going to finish with what I do at Cal every Friday night, if you remember. Every Friday night, Aloni's thinking, like, what do you do Friday night? I'm nervous now.
I've got it.
I tended to be the only parent in the room on Friday night. And it was a really wonderful thing that I got to do is I got to bless all the students that were there. And whenever you were there and I was there, I got to bless each of you with the priestly blessing. And it feels like a culmination to be able to stand under the chuppah with you, having blessed you many times at Cal in our auditorium on Shabbat, to now stand here and bless both of you. Yivarechecha Navi Shmerecha, Ya'er Adonai Panav Elecha V'Yichuneka, Yisa Adonai Panav Elecha V'Esim Lecha Shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God cause God's Spirit to shine upon you and be gracious to you. And may God turn God's favor upon you and grant you peace. We're going to finish with the breaking of the glass. I'm going to put this down, but don't break it yet.
Don't drop it.
I won't drop it. As wonderful as this occasion is, remember, and you, both of you more than any, know how fractured sometimes the world is, and you both have done so much to try to make it a more perfected world. The two of you coming together is one step closer. I'm excited to see and know that Rebecca, with you getting a master's in education, giving back to the Jewish community is going to be phenomenal. And I'm sure, Aloni, you're going to do something with an algorithm that's going to solve some Jewish problem as well, or some computer science. But what I do find beautiful is that the two of you come together, and I feel confident, the two of you together, that you're going to bring us that one step closer to a more perfected world together in your relationship and what you do for everybody around you. You ready? Use your heel. Use your heel. Mazel
One try.
Here we go.
Ko sason ko simcha, ko chatan ko kala. Ko sason ko simcha, ko chatan ko kala. Od yeshama be'arei Yehuda ובחוצות ירושלים. עוד ישמע בערי יהודה ובחוצות ירושלים. כה ששון וכה שמחה, כה חתן וכה כלה. כה ששון וכה שמחה, כה חתן וכה כלה. מזל טוב. Mazal tov. Yeshar koach. That was fun. Thanks, man.
That's great.